Hey everyone, this is Lola. In this video, you are going to learn how to conjugate regular IR verbs in the present tense. We're also going to look at the negative, the inversion or interrogative, and inversion in the negative or negative interrogative. The regular IR verb that we are going to use for our purposes is the verb finir. So finir means to finish. And it is an IR verb, as we had discussed. So what we're going to do to conjugate this is we're going to take that IR, we are going to drop it, get rid of it, and add the endings IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, and ISSENT. So if we take a look at it here, we have je, our pronoun, je, with finir. And of course, it's the IR verb. So now we're going to get rid of the IR and replace it. So it becomes IS. Therefore, we have je finis. And that translates to I finish. Tu finis, and we've taken off the IR, so we were left with FIN. Our ending again is IS, so it becomes tu finis. You finish. With il as well, we take off the IR, so we're left with FIN. We do the same with elle finir, so we take off the IR again. Same thing here again with qui. And the same thing with en. We then add the ending IT, so it becomes il finit, elle finit, qui finit, and on finit. And you can see the translations here. On the plural side, we have nous with the FIN. We've taken the IR off. The ending is ISSONS, so we're left with nous finissons. We finish. Next is vous, FIN. We've taken off the IR. And the ending is ISSEZ. Vous finissez. You finish. And now we have ils finir. We took off the IR. And elles finir, again taking off the IR. And we add the ending ISSENT to both. So it becomes ils finissent, elles finissent. And they both mean they finish. Notice how I pronounce the word. It's not ils finissent or elles finissent. It is pronounced ils finissent, elles finissent. And over here we just have regular IR verbs. These are other verbs that you can use and follow the same pattern. Choisir, grandir, réfléchir, réussir, veillir, rougir, remplir, nourrir, accomplir, and obéir. So you probably want to practice conjugating verbs on your own. So the next two verbs that I'm going to show you are the verbs choisir and grandir. I'll have them conjugated already, so you could just try to do it on your own first. So just put a pause on this for now. Conjugate the verb choisir, conjugate the verb grandir, and then take a look at the answers that I post here. So here's the verb choisir, which means to choose. Je choisis, tu choisis, il choisit, elle choisit, qui choisit, on choisit. Nous choisissons, vous choisissez, ils choisissent, elles choisissent. And again, it's in green for you so you can see the translation in English. Remember again, we dropped the IR off all of them and we added IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, ISSENT. And here's the verb grandir, to grow. Je grandis, tu grandis, il grandit, elle grandit, qui grandit, on grandit. Nous grandissons, vous grandissez, ils grandissent, elles grandissent. And again, dropping the ER, adding IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, ISSENT. And of course, it's in English in green. We're now going to move on to finir in the negative. So just remember that to make a sentence negative, you must add the words ne or an apostrophe and pas or jamais, which surround the verb. We're going to use the verb finir to finish again, just to make things easier. So we have je finis over here, and we've added the ne before the verb. And the pas goes after the verb. The verb is finir. We changed to fini because we conjugated it with je. Je finis to make it negative. Je ne finis pas. I didn't finish. We now have tu finis. The ne goes before the verb fini. The pas goes after the verb fini. So it becomes tu ne finis pas. You didn't finish. Il finit. The ne and pas surround the verb finit. Il ne finit pas. He didn't finish. And we continue to do the rest, the same thing for the rest of it. So, elle finit, elle ne finit pas. Qui ne finit pas? On ne finit pas. Nous ne finissons pas. Vous ne finissez pas. Ils ne finissent pas. Elles ne finissent pas. Now we're going to take a look at finir in the inversion form or interrogative. And that just means that it's going to be a question. So to make a sentence in the inversion or interrogative form, you must invert the subject or pronoun and the verb. Once again, we're still going to use the verb finir to finish. So we can see here in the regular form we have je finis. So what we want to do now to invert it is just flip it. When we flip it or invert it, this is what it looks like. Finis je. We've added a dash in between and a question mark at the end, so it makes a question. Do I finish? We're going to take tu finis and flip it, and we get finis-tu. Do you finish? Il finit becomes finit-il. Does he finish? And we continue. Finit-elle? Does she finish? Finit-on? Does one finish? Finissons-nous? Do we finish? Finissez-vous? Do you finish? Finissent-ils? Do they finish? Finissent-elles? Do they finish? And now we're going to look at finir in the inversion form in the negative or negative interrogative. So again, it's a question, but in the negative form. Once again, to make a sentence negative in the inversion or negative interrogative form, you must add the word ne or an apostrophe before the verb and the pas or jamais after the subject or pronoun. We're going to continue to use the verb finir to finish. So this is what it looked like in the inversion form, finis je. To make it negative, we're going to add the ne before the verb finir, which is now fini. So ne finis je, and the pas goes after the pronoun je. So ne finis je pas. Do I not finish? Ne finis-tu, and the pas after the tu, after the pronoun. Ne finis-tu pas? Do you not finish? Ne finit-il pas? Ne finit-il pas? Does he not finish? And now we have the rest of it. Ne finit-elle pas? Ne finit-on pas? Ne finissons-nous pas? Ne finissez-vous pas? Ne finissent-ils pas? Ne finissent-elles pas? Let's take a look at some examples of sentences. We're now going to use the verb choisir, which means to choose. So in its regular form, using the pronoun tu, it's tu choisis le basketball. You choose the basketball. Making it negative, putting the ne and pas around the verb. Tu ne choisis pas le basketball. You do not choose the basketball. Making it a question in the interrogative form, we flipped it so it becomes choisis-tu le basketball? Do you choose the basketball? And now in the interrogative form, but negative, so the negative interrogative form, we put the ne before the verb and the pas after the subject or the pronoun. Becomes ne choisis-tu pas le basketball? Do you not choose the basketball? We're going to try it again, some sentences, but this time with the verb réfléchir, which means to think. Nous réfléchissons toujours. So our ending is ISSONS because of the nous. And this means we think always, or we always think. Making it negative, we surround our verb réfléchissons with the ne and the pas. So it becomes nous ne réfléchissons pas toujours. We don't always think. Going into the interrogative, just to make it a question, we flipped it so it becomes réfléchissons-nous toujours? Do we always think? And finally, we have the negative interrogative. So we have the ne before the verb réfléchissons and the pas after the pronoun or subject. So we get ne réfléchissons-nous pas toujours? Don't we or do we not always think? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.